Good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome to Memorial Day weekend on the North Fork. As it is the unofficial kickoff to summer, although the weather here has been so lovely that it feels like it's been summer for a few days. I don't want to jinx it, but I hope we continue to enjoy some beautiful weather. I am personally looking forward to 3 days of just chilling and soaking in everything that's opening up for the season. Living in a beach town or I guess coastal town. I'm not sure what the right term is. There is a slow season.
Hello.
Good.
Good morning.
I'm so excited that the North Fork is technically, I guess, opening up
I,
everything this weekend.
I know it is. It is. Although, did you I wondered, did you see the article in the New York Post about
Mhm.
the North Fork becoming
Mhm.
Hamptons 2.0?
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
And
Are
that's
you
all.
guys
And
talking
that's
about
all
that
I have to
article?
say about that.
Yeah.
It is such an interesting. It is an interesting time in the history of the
Yeah.
North Fork, and I feel grateful that we purchased 12, 13 years ago now. I can't imagine my mental state if I was trying to move to this beautiful location right now.
I know. I know. I see Mariana was saying good morning. Good morning, Mariana.
Yay! You can see comments.
I know. I don't know why, and I don't want to jinx it, but yes, I can see
Good
comments.
morning, Kelly. How are
Good
you?
morning. How are you?
I'm good. Hi, Megan.
Hi guys.
How
Hi,
are
good
Hi,
you?
morning.
Megan.
Morning.
I was just saying that. I mean, I guess Memorial Day weekend is the unofficial kickoff to summer everywhere, but here on the North Fork, it just feels like everything or anything that was even partially shut this weekend is just cue the music. Farms are, growing everything. It just looks stunning outside. I know, Kelly, since you curate weekend plans, I see that your number of sheets just keep expanding.
Oh my gosh,
Love the music selection, the fact that you put that all
so
together on one
much.
page.
It had to have its own because this weekend it was just nonstop music everywhere. So I'm like, I have to just give it its own page. It's gonna take up the whole weekend plans if I don't.
That's so fun.
I'm good with
Hey,
that.
Lauren. Lauren's on. Hey, Lauren.
Hey,
Hi,
Lauren,
Lauren.
I miss you. I wish we could add 5 squares. She could jump right on, but
I know.
Instagram limits it to 4. But we're
I know.
excited to have you on, Megan. How are you?
I'm well. I'm doing well, guys. The pollen is getting to me, so I'm sorry if my voice is a little scratchy this morning, but yeah, it is in full bloom out here. It's lovely, and I'm excited to be here. Thanks.
Awesome. Speaking of full bloom, Megan runs a garden in her backyard and puts a little farm stand in the front. And I say little because it is cute and little, called Wild Child Farmstand, correct?
Yes.
So, first of all, it just popped up one day because I happen to live in the area. So I drove past it and I see a stand and I was like, wait, what is this? Because I love stopping and finding cute little things. And then, of course, the name. So we want to hear all about it. We want to hear
Well,
about how you came up with the name.
yes, and I want to say that I have driven past your house many times and admired your garden boxes. I
Oh,
saw them, I
thanks.
watched them like being built and I was like, ooh, what's happening over here? This is beautiful.
Oh,
So
I love
yes.
that. Thank
Yes.
you. I've heard that a couple of times. We've got great community out here. So yeah, I mean the name is because I have two wild children and I consider myself a wild child at heart, you know. But now I'm their mama. And yeah, I mean it's a labor of love. It's tons of fun. And we're excited to kick it off tomorrow.
Meg, can you tell us how you got into garden? Because I have to say I am like have a black thumb. Everything that I
Oh,
Yes.
try to plant
Same.
girl, same.
dies.
Same. And so I got out here and I've been coming out to the North Fork for like 25 years. My parents, my stepdad and my mother were married. He has strong roots in the community. So it's been a long time of seeing it evolve and everything else. And it's just, I mean, you can't help but notice the farm stands, the agriculture, everything as you come out. And so, for me, I've got family in Nebraska and they were all farmers. And so there was a deep love there as a kid, and I knew I wanted to somehow tap into that as an adult. I just didn't know how. So it started with hiring people who know what they're doing. Gardeners. So we started initially with Connie Cross, who is a legend out here in the North Fork. And then Jeff Negrone from the Growing Seed has been our go-to guy. And I'm one of those people who, you know, I love to do it myself, but I'd rather learn from an expert because I think that's more time efficient, cost efficient. And so he really is kind of our man on the scene at the garden. And but yeah, but you know, now I play around and the kids they love it, and they go to Peconic Community School, and this entire semester is about the land and growing, and you know, it's very place-based education. So they are taking field trips to Sangli and Broader's Birds and all these amazing places, and we've got people like, you know, Jamesport Sourdough coming in and baking bread with the kids. So I don't know, it's a very organic thing, but it's happening and it's lovely.
So I've been lucky enough to get a tour of your garden, and it's stunning. So I totally understand your point of, because it is so well thought out in terms of pairing the plants, even something as simple as the taller plants being in the back and the shorter ones being in the front, because when you're a starting gardener, I just put stuff wherever looks good to me. And then when they come up a year later, it's like, what was I thinking? So I do appreciate the process of having someone who, you know, knows more than I do of giving me some ideas of what makes sense. And then obviously you're taking it from there and making it your own.
It's kind of the key. I mean, I want to learn from the experts, but we, you know, the farm stand part is easy. My kids go out and they pick the veggies, and my daughter, Una, she's 7 going on 8. She loves making a bouquet. She does it way better than I ever could. And so, you know, I'm there to facilitate and help, but it's really their own thing. And from the beginning, we knew that we wanted it to be kind of a community building, give back, take it by donation sort of thing. And that's what we've done. And it's been lovely. Each wild child got to pick sort of a cause that matters to them. And my son really, you know, he's younger, so he loves baby animals. So we gave his portion to Group for the East End, and then my daughter's portion goes to her school. And the rest of it goes into their piggy banks, and they spend it at Magic Fountain or Goldsmith's Toy Shop or wherever. But it's, you know, give what you can, take whatever you want. It's for the community. It's not, you know, we're out there to charge $5 a bouquet. It's just take it. So yeah, that's sort of the ethos behind the whole thing.
So are you more of a flower person or a veggie person? Which one do you prefer?
Oh, good question. I mean, I prefer to cook with the veggies. I will say every year the tomatoes come out and they, you know, amaze me no matter what it is. But my personal love is flowers. I told Sunita the other day, I volunteered at Pierpont Flower Farm to just learn about dahlias and different things. And that's kind of my love, the cut flowers, the bouquets. But, you know, you gotta love both, right?
So what all do you plant in your raised beds over the season? Whether you grow it for yourself or put it on the stand, what all do you have?
Yeah, I mean, well, tomatoes are the easiest and quickest and best thing to grow, but we've got every herb you can imagine. We've got, you know, if you want to make chamomile tea, if you want to pick lavender, if you want to come do gooseberries or you know, cucumbers or melons or figs or mint or asparagus, as you saw us struggling a little bit, but we're getting there. I mean, we've got lettuces right now because it's still kind of cold, but yeah, we've got a little bit of everything.
That's quite an array. How many garden boxes do you have to accommodate all of that?
4, and then all the surround. So we've got everything deer fenced, which helps a lot. And we've got Usher doing our tick sprays and kind of keeping some of the stuff out that, you know, we don't want. And then the companion planting is great. You know, you kind of mix like the edible flowers like calendula or violets or whatever you want with, you know, with the strawberries or with whatever. And that helps.
So,
It
so
helps.
you have raised beds, but you have so much more land where everything is growing in the ground. Not everything is growing in the beds.
Yes, we do. I mean, as you saw, the chamomile is just sprung up. The mint is taking over everything right now.
I feel like your entire garden, and garden is an understatement for what you have, because you really have things growing everywhere. There's just a lot. What I loved was, you know, going along with the theme of your name of Wild Child, literally, it is so rich and bountiful that things are growing in walkways, and I think you just let them thrive wherever it comes up. So there's chamomile coming out of you know, like gravel pebble driveways, but there's things coming out and it looks beautiful and wild, and it totally, even though it is manicured, there's also a wildness to it all, which I totally love.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, the wildness is sort of part of it. I mean, I think embracing that perfectly imperfect garden is the way to go, because the super manicured thing I don't have time for. I've got 2 kids, so and my gardener has a child as well, Jeff. His kid is Miles, and none of us have time for perfect, right? So perfectly imperfect is sort of the way we proceed with that.
I love that. Perfectly imperfect.
And yeah, so
and in terms of flowers, so you have a lot of vegetables, but I, for the first time, I you know, I'm not a gardener, but for the first time discovered that there actually exists such a thing as white Helium. I always assumed they were purple because that's what you see everywhere, but you have both, tons and tons of purple, but you also have a lot of beautiful white, which was stunning.
Beautiful whites. Yeah, I mean, we started with a palette in mind. We were kind of thinking, okay, whites and purples and sort of that dark, dark purple and greens and minty. And I mean, I knew what I wanted visually, aesthetically, but like, you know, I didn't know the name of every plant that I wanted on the property. So that's why I sort of relied on the experts. But those colors really speak to me, and then I planted things that are just really, really close to my heart because of, you know, childhood memories or whatever else. There's bleeding hearts and white that are beautiful, forget-me-nots, which aren't native to the area, but that I love because, you know, I just do. And so yeah, it's you know, it's a mixed bag, but it's turning out okay, and it's ever evolving, and you know, it's a lot of fun.
So you mentioned your family had a property out here. What, recently relocated out here? Are you from here originally? What's your history?
No, okay, y'all, I'm from Nashville. I'm a Southern gal. But my stepdad's family, he's been coming out here. He's 65 now. He's been coming out since he was in the womb. His great grandfather ran a shipyard out here. So he's got deep, deep roots. He's from Connecticut, but so I've been coming out for years, and we have a family house on Soundview Ave, not far from Sunita. And when I had babies, and my siblings were, you know, doing the beer pong thing at 3 a.m, I was like, I need my own house. This is not going to work for me. So I had been driving by this 1910 farmhouse for years. And one day there was, you know, I had a I don't know, a 6-month-old, and there was a for sale sign, and I, you know, U-turned as fast as they could. And next thing you know, that was our place, and we took it down to the studs, and you know, we were pulling out like horsehair and plaster as, you know, the insulation. I mean, it was a crazy renovation, but yeah.
I just want to go back to the house 1 minute, because first of all, you have a barn, so I guess there were horses of some kind. And the other part I wanted to go back to, that not all the plants are new. Some pre-existed, like the peonies, for example, you were telling me pre-existed. So the woman who owned the house was a gardener to begin with, and you've transplanted some. So tell me a little bit about the history of the house.
We did, yeah. So we bought the house from sort of friends of friends, you know, unknowingly. And that was amazing. And there had been a big flood. And so they've done some really pretty renovations. And but I ended up connecting with the owner prior to them, and she had been in the house since I think the the 50s or 60s. She's now at Peconic Landing, the retirement community. She's about 90. And she has given me just a wealth of information about the house. You know, prior to her family being there, it was a car dealer from Brooklyn. It was his summer house. So you go out into the barn and nobody's cleaned out the barn. So it's just treasures, milk bottles, you know, sleigh, like a sleigh.
Like a time capsule. So fun.
It is. It's bizarre. And every stationery from, you know, some other farm it used to be called. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun to kind of explore out there, and it's a work in progress. But getting to know her, Harriet, it's been really wonderful, and that's kind of what I love about this community. People know their neighbors, they know the history of their property, they know who was there before, and it used to be a potato field, and now it's this, and make sure of that, and you know, so she planted the peonies 40 years ago probably, and so we did transplant them, and they are thriving and they're beautiful, but you know, retaining that, not just throwing them out, you know, reusing and honoring what was there is a lovely part of just being here.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
Megan, can you tell us about the hours for the farm stand and the days you're open and stuff?
Oh, y'all, it depends. It depends on the weather. It depends on whether the kids are sick or not. But mostly we try to do Thursday to Sunday, you know, morning till when we sell out. And by sell out, I mean when people take stuff, it's gone. But yeah, Thursday to Sunday typically. And it's, you know, like 9 o'clock in the morning till sunset. And
So just to clarify, it's not a business. It's sort of
no.
So, and just for the audience sake, don't be planning to rush over there and, you know, cater your wedding with these flowers. I mean, they're gorgeous, but if the children get to work, they get to work, and you put it out, right? That's sort of
we put it out when the kids, I mean, I get them up, and I've got Una with the scissors cutting the bouquets and arranging in the mason jars. I've got Orson picking tomatoes or whatever is there to pick. And, you know, that's sort of, it truly is like, it's organic and in the real sense, and it's organic in the way that the kids sort of manage it, and we help. But yeah, we post always on Instagram what the hours are, what we're kind of offering that day, and then you know, sometimes it's weather, sometimes it's illness, sometimes it's a birthday party we have to go to. So it's not a perfect formula, but yeah.
So
you know,
stay tuned for the announcement of the hours each week, right? Or each day.
Pretty much. No, we do daily, and we kind of film what's there, and a lot of it has to do with what the kids come up with, which is fun.
And one of the things I love about the farm stands around here, or just life on the North Fork, it's always an honor system. The box, you just drop what you want. So in that sense, the hours, you know, can be loose because you just drop in when you drop in. The stand is there. And another pro tip, you do take Venmo, so there's that.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, we
that's
do.
Very important because, you know, I just, like you said, you suddenly make an abrupt stop when you see something or you make a U-turn. So I don't always have cash on me. So it really is helpful.
We do have a Venmo, and I feel like we elevated, you know, that's how we took it into the next century, right? Like we have a Venmo and a box. Yeah, so that helped.
Just sidebar, I was in Shelter Island once a few years ago, before it was, you know, commonplace, I guess. There was this little kid with a lemonade stand, and he actually sat there with an iPad and had a square, you know, those little card reader square, and lemonade with a square. And I was like, you go, kid. He was like 7 or 8.
Oh, wow. Okay, maybe we need to aim higher over Wild Child.
Well, but
pretty impressive.
But then he was standing there, you know, with the credit card. Venmo has now made life easier, but it was also $5 a glass. I mean, you needed a credit card.
Wow.
But I thought that was so
spiked. Or was it a straight lemonade?
Well, I had to stop just because he was there being a young entrepreneur with a credit card machine. I was like, here, take my $5. Give me a glass.
Yeah, that's sweet. Oh, wow. Okay. The wheels are turning. I got it. Okay.
Expanding.
I could just see your daughter out there because I also recently met your daughter and she was the cutest. Your son is cute too. I've been watching his videos. But she brought over the North Fork magazine, which you guys were recently featured in. And I'm so proud. And I'm so proud of her because, you know, when you do hard work and you enjoy what you're doing, why not talk about it? Why not share it? I loved it.
You guys, they're 5 seconds of fame has arrived. They feel famous. We went into Kate's Cheese the other day and they were autographing copies and like Kate put them up on the, you know, on the display case, and it was the sweetest, cutest. And again, that's why I love this community so much, because it's like everybody celebrates everybody. It's so lovely, but they do feel very famous right now. Their egos are enlarged.
On the farm stand will be available signed copies for those who are interested.
I mean, bring your own. Sure. Why not?
So cute.
Yeah.
So now, Meg, I know you talked about having an expert come in, but I need to go back to this. What advice do you have for someone who's just starting off, other than getting an expert in to kind of help you set up for success?
Okay, well, that's my number one. But number two would just be, you know, trial and error. Like, this is not going back to perfectly imperfect. Like, give it a shot, plant a seed, go buy plugs from Beds and Borders, or pick a Sangli, or pick any. I mean, we have so many places to go get amazing things here. And so plant it, see what happens, Google it, read up. And I give my kids a little plot of their own. They can plant what they want. And we do easy growers like sunflowers or whatever, and they love it. And there is such a deep satisfaction in seeing something you planted grow. And I would just say, you know, give it a shot. It's easy if you want it to be. You know, water it, love it, sing to it, and then see what happens.
You're inspiring me, because now I just was contemplating faux plants for my outdoor planters, because
No way.
No, you can't.
Not you, Tracy. I don't see that.
I know. I have a beautiful landscaping, but I just keep anything that's in a pot, I kill.
So I have a hot tip for you. I kill everything. But the gardens at B&B carry succulents, and they actually thrive without water, without maintenance. I got some last summer and they lasted the entire winter. So now I've decided all of my pots are just getting succulents. That's it.
Amazing. Good tip.
And while we're at pro tips, I used to say I killed everything. Now I can't say that because I keep two things alive. One, I keep my pilia alive, the house plants, which I love. But two, in a garden, I keep mint alive, people. I'm just saying.
Oh, mint is good.
I think it's even easier than succulents because it comes back every year.
The mint and you can always have like beautiful mint infused water. You put it on cakes, you put it in ice cream. It's like the prettiest thing ever. And guests are always impressed. So mint is a good one.
So also, mint keeps away the critters, the little mice and other rodents. So mint is a good one to keep around.
All right, Miss No Green Thumb, you got tips.
By Alyssa is saying she does container gardens and succulents also, which I've been talking to her about some succulent classes. And actually, I just wanted to shout out my friend Millhouse Style. She just redid her backyard in the last 2 years, and she has some amazing garden boxes too. So it reminds me very much of your house, actually, of what I've seen. So it's beautiful. I want to say that.
Awesome.
And while we're doing local shout outs, Kirsten from Yard Crop can certainly help anybody that's interested, you know, in gardening or getting some help in gardening. Meg, I wanted to add, I'm regretting not taking some of that cilantro because honestly, I've never seen that comes back every year. That's good. You literally said it grew back after winter, right?
It did. It's just there, and we're neighbors, so you can walk into the garden, take your scissors, and cut.
not just snipping it. I want to try growing. You're inspiring me to grow it, so I want to try.
Oh, good.
I love friends who have basil because I never want to buy one of those huge bunches for like one little like tomato mozzarella. So if any of you guys have basil, I might be visiting your house too.
Thank you. Come on over.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Tracy, you want to kick off the 5 for 5? Because we could keep talking gardening all day.
I sure do. So we end every show with a same 5 questions, different perspective. So why don't we kick it off with, what restaurant are you frequenting most these days?
Ooh, wow. So with kids, I would have to say Southold General because it's so easy to grab and go. No kids, North Fork Table and Inn, or picking up oysters from like Little Ram or somewhere and just doing the at-home thing is lovely. It's hard with kids. Restaurants are hard. So I like the grab and go. I like the farm stands. That's my vibe.
That's great.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that yet.
Do you wake up early to catch a sunrise? I mean, I know you have little ones, so your schedule might be, based on day by day. Or do you catch sunset, and do you have any good spots for either that you could recommend?
I'm a sunset gal. I'm a nighttime gal. The kids are up, but I'm trying to sleep as long as possible. So yeah, I mean, we're over near you, so I love Kenny's and McCabe's, and I'm on Soundview with my parents' place where I am right now. So there's nothing lovelier than a sound sunset. So yeah.
Meg, is there a brewery or vineyard that you frequent often?
Ooh, Croto, I think is that how you pronounce it? Croto? Yeah, right?
Their vibe is the cutest. I can see you in there.
I mean, I feel like it's like you're in, France or something. I think it's such a cute spot. But I think every single place out here, I think, does it well. So I don't have a favorite. We'll go anywhere.
So obviously, your most frequented farm stand is your own, but
yeah.
Let's talk about what other farm stands you said you like to do, farm stand dinners and stuff. Where do you usually go for that?
Yeah, I mean, I think Wesnowski's is sort of a hidden gem that people don't go to enough. They have organic practices. It's really hard to get certified organic. So like at the end of the day, I love an 8 Hands. I love a Sangli, but that's one of my favorites too, is Wesnowski's, which is down the road from us.
We have been hearing that name quite often lately. So it seems like people are spreading. Maybe we're helping spread the word. Who knows?
Oh no! Don't spread the word. It's my secret. My little place. My hidden gem.
Or like even now we're talking about your farm stand, and I love it, and I want more people to go. But I'm like, oh no! I know. I'm sure Patrice, who's on here, who joins us every week.
And shout out to Patrice, by the way, who has been our biggest supporter since day one, and I save all my best tomatoes for her. So if she's on here, hi Patrice.
Meanwhile, I was telling you about your neighbor a few houses down the street, Eileen. That's her. The one who just commented, love Wesnowski. So say hello to your neighbor right here, power of Instagram.
Yep.
Oh, cool. I can't wait to hook up with her and you and all of you guys for some lovely ladies something.
Yes. Well, Tilly's getting a nice babysitting session with Eileen this weekend. So you'll see her go by in the stroller.
How old is she now?
She's 4.5 months. Yeah.
I don't know. Early days.
When we started the show, I was feeding her. I it's all on her schedule, right? So I don't know that she's now started like petting me while I'm feeding her. It's the funniest thing.
I love it.
It's so cute.
Well, I will say this: it goes fast, and a farm stand is a great idea when they get to be about my kids' ages, because they learn to give back, they learn to appreciate Mother Nature and planet Earth, and
my parents live about 1.5 miles away, and my dad does quite an extensive vegetable garden and flower garden. So maybe that's something we can go to Poppy's house, pick things, and sell them here in our little community on the front lawn. Maybe we'll do.
There you go.
Good inspiration. Thank you, Meg.
Yeah, of course. My pleasure.
Well, this
So
was
sweet.
wonderful. I'm glad to finally meet you. I drive past it all the time when I'm visiting Eileen and Sunita. So now it's great to put a face to the stand.
Please stop. Come in.
Yeah,
Have a
I
drink.
will.
See the garden. Go for a
I
swim.
would love
Hang
to.
out.
Love to.
Yeah. Good.
Thank you so much, Meg,
So
for joining,
fun.
telling us all about what you do. We love what you're doing.
You
And
guys.
if you want to follow and see when the stand is open, it's called Wild Child Farmstand, and usually open Thursdays through Sunday.
Yep.
And it's a pay what you like kind of farm stand with a really nice selection. So I'm looking forward to. Is it Monday you open? Is that the first day?
I think we're gonna shoot for tomorrow, guys.
Oh,
We're shooting for the
Ooh.
stars here.
I'm ready for some peonies, so let's go.
Okay, they're gonna be there for you. I'll have a special bouquet waiting with your name on it.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
Of
Meg.
course.
Enjoy your long weekend, ladies. I'm so excited. There's so much to do this weekend.
Happy Memorial Day weekend.
I know. Let's kick it off. Summer vibes.
Let's see
Oh,
it.
Have a good weekend, ladies. Bye.
Bye.
guys. Thanks.